Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we'll discuss one problem on tree data structure. Okay, and this problem is very important because it has been asked in many interviews like Amazon, Google, Facebook and Uber. So what we'll do, we'll first try to understand what exactly is the problem statement, and after that we'll try to solve this problem. Okay, so the problem is you'll be given a tree. Let's say this is the tree, for example, and along with that tree two nodes will also be given. So here we have node number 1, that is n1, and node number 2, which is n2. Okay, so we need to find out that whether these two nodes are on same path or not. Okay, so let's consider this tree as an example, and let's take the value of n1 as 3 and the value of n2 as 2. Okay, now you can clearly see that node number 3 and 2 are not on same path. The path is actually different. So in that case we'll simply return false. Okay, since the path is different, so we are returning false here. Now let's take another example. If I take the value of n1 as 1 and the value of n2 as, let's say, 8. Okay, so here you can see that n1 and n2 are on same path. This is the path, so we'll simply return true in that case. Okay, we'll simply return true. Now let's take another nodes, that is 5, which is n1, and 6. Okay, so here in this case also the path is different, so we'll return false here. Right, now let me rub this first. Alright, so the problem is how to identify that whether n1 and n2 are on same path or not. So here we have n1 and n2. Okay, now let's take the first example, which is node number 3 and 2. So what we can do, we can find out that whether n1 is the part of subtree which is formed by n2, or n2 is the part of subtree which is formed by n1. If either of these two conditions are satisfied, then we can say that n1 and n2 are on same path. So the condition 1 is we need to check n1 is the part of subtree which is formed by n2. Okay, this is condition number 1. And the second condition is we need to check whether n2 is the part of subtree which is formed by n1 or not. Okay, so here we have condition number 2. Means either of these two conditions are satisfied, then we can say that n1 and n2 are on same path, right? So here in this case the subtree which is formed by node number 2 is 5 and 6. This is a subtree, and the subtree which is formed by node number 3 is null. Means its left child is null and its right child is also null, so it has no subtree, right? So you can clearly see that n1 is not part of the subtree which is formed by n2, means 3 is not part of the subtree which is formed by 2, and also 2 is not part of the subtree which is formed by 3. So here in this case these two conditions are not satisfied, so the answer is false, means n1 and n2 are not on same path, right? Now let's take the example of this n1 as 1 and n2 as 8. Okay, this is n1 and here we have n2. So if I check the first condition, means okay, so let's construct the subtree which is formed by n1. So this is the subtree 3, 4, and we have 7 and 8. This is the whole subtree which is formed by n1. And if I take the subtree which is formed by n2, is null, because its left child is null and its right child is also null, so it has no subtree. Okay, now if I check the first condition, whether n1 is the part of subtree which is formed by n2 or not. So this is a subtree of n2 and so n1 is not part of the subtree which is formed by n2. Okay, because 1 is here and 8 is here. Now if I test the second condition, that is n2 is part of the subtree which is formed by n1 or not. So here you can see that n2 is the part of subtree which is formed by n1. So because this is the subtree which is formed by n1. Okay, so it is satisfying the second condition, means we can say that this is these two nodes are on same path. So 1 and 8 are on same path, right? So this is how we can check whether n1 and n2 are on same path or not. Okay.